All right. Well, you ready to do numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? We got this. Okay, they're giving us miles and want us to get to feet. So what we know is miles, clear over here on the chart, and we're going clear to feet. Oh, we're making a pretty big jump backwards. So going miles to feet, going from something that's larger to something smaller, means that we are going to multiply. So we're going to put in there the multiplication sign. And then we have to determine what number we are going to multiply by. We're going to take that 1/2 and we're going to multiply by miles to feet. Miles to feet is a big jump. Remember this? Miles to feet. So we're following this line, the big line, which would be 5,280. So I am multiplying by 5,280. Well, when I multiply something by half, I'm just dividing it by 2 is what's happening. So if what's half of 5,280? I'm just going to divide it by 2. So I'm going to go 5,280 divided by 2. Two, 6, 4, 0. Okay. Next one, I'm going from miles to yards. Miles to yards is still going from large to small, so I'm multiplying by the connecting number, 1760. So I take 1760 and I times it by the 3. Three miles equals how many yards? I got 5,280 yards. Okay, number 8. I'm going from inches to feet. They give me inches and they want feet. So I'm going from something smaller to something larger, so I'm going to be dividing. And the connecting number between inches and feet is 12. So 54 divided by 12. 54 divided by 12. 12 goes into 54 4 times, which would be 48. 54 minus 48 is 6. So it's 4 and 6 twelfths, which equals, really, what is 4 and 6 twelfths? 4 1/2. So on the answer line, we're going to change that to be the completed fraction, the simplified fraction. Doing so good. Number 9, going from inches to yards. Well, that's a pretty big jump. If I'm going from inches to yards, it means I'm connecting the 12 and the 3. Remember, in our journal, going from inches to yards, the connecting number was 36. So, am I multiplying or dividing? Going from something that's small into something that's large. S to L. Small to large. Sam likes donuts, so I'm dividing. And the connecting number is not 12 because it's inches to yards. It's 36. So I take 144 and divide it by 36. 36 won't go into 14, so it has to be into 144. 36 is close to 40. Remember all of these division practice skills? And 40 will probably go in there 3 times. 40 times 3 is 120. 40 times 4 would be 160, which is 16 away. I think it actually is going to be 4 times. Let's try it. It's exactly 4 times. You're welcome. 4 And number 10, 2.5 yards equals how many inches? So I'm going from yards to inches. So that same jump, it's 36 between those two. But I'm going from something large to something small. LSM means to multiply. I need more inches to make up yards. So I multiply that by 36. To multiply 2.5 by 36, I do multiply then add. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2. And then how do I make 36 work with this? I put a 1 underneath it. I extend the bar. I look for relationships. 2 and 36, they're both even. They can both be divided by 2. That one becomes 1, and I'll just help you. The other one becomes 18. So 1's on the bottom, and 5 times 18. I don't even know what that is. So I have to solve it. $90. It would be 90 over 1, which means I just write 90 on the answer line. Awesome. I love doing problems like this. We are going to do numbers 11 and 12 as well. Hang in there. How do you find the perimeter of a shape? Perimeter means to add all sides. That's what it means to find the perimeter of something, to add all sides. So if I'm adding all sides, then it kind of like with fractions, they have to have the same denominator or the same label, the same measurement. Right now, I've got 2 of them that have feet and 1 of them that has inches. So I have to make all of them have the same label. And in this case, I'm going to make it be feet because they're asking for it in feet. Take your red, circle feet. They're asking for it in feet. So this one's already feet. This one's already feet. So let's circle those. We just have to add this one, and 36 inches is not feet. So what we get to do, which is really, really cool, is we get to convert 36 inches into feet. So we go like this. 36, this is a conversion. 36 inches equals how many feet? It's what we were just doing before. The connecting number between inches and feet is 12. Are you going to be multiplying it? Are you going to have more feet than inches? No. So you're going to be dividing it. So because you're going from something small to something large, Sam likes donuts, small, large, divide, you're dividing by 12. So 36 divided by 12 equals 3. So this 36 inches just got converted into 3 feet. Now, I'm going to circle that in red because now I have all measurements the same. And 3 plus 5 plus 12. Sorry, I said 12 and I meant 4. Let's try that again. 3 plus 5 plus 4, you just go that direction, is 12 feet. Sorry about that. And it's not squared because I didn't multiply them. The perimeter equals 12 feet. If I were to multiply 3 times 5 times 4, then it would be feet cubed actually, because I did it 3 times. But I didn't multiply. I was adding both times. Okay, how do we do number 12? The same idea. We're going to find this one super cool actually. To find the perimeter of this shape, you have to find the perimeter of the rectangle. So I'll just show you 2 different colors. We have to find the perimeter of this shape. Well, not technically because that's a side, right? But you can see that there's 2 different shapes here. And perimeter just means to add all sides. So you're going to be taking, and they want it in feet, you're going to be taking the 3 feet. Can't do inches. We're going to have to say equals how many feet. And then we'll add the 2 feet, because that's another side. Oh, we can't do 24 inches. You're going to have to convert that into feet. And you have to also add this side. And they didn't give us this side. So you have to go searching for it. If they didn't give us the side on the left, where are you going to find it? It's over on the right. You have an identical line to it. It's a parallel line, the same distance. That's 12 inches. I'm not going to write that yet because I'm going to end up writing what it is in feet instead. Okay, you should just know that 12 inches is 1 foot, which means that it's also 1 foot over here. You should know 12 inches is 1 foot. If you don't know it, memorize it. So how many would 24 inches be? This is just mental math. 2 feet. You can do the conversion if you need to, but it's 2 feet. I should have done that one in blue. I'm struggling. Okay, so now I'm going to add all of those things together. So I have 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So this perimeter of this shape equals 9 feet. Why is it not 9 feet squared? Because I didn't multiply any of those things together. I just added all the sides at the end. Pretty awesome. I love doing problems like this. Turn the page to page 320. On page 320, we have some multi-step problems where we really look into how is this going to work? How are we going to solve these problems without having all of this information in the same unit? So we need the same unit. That's all it means. We need the same unit. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 13. You are going to want to keep your journal handy to be able to look at these notes and the connecting numbers. You should also just start to kind of memorize them. Number 13 says, Nick needs 65 yards of wire for a project. If the wire is only sold on spools that hold 6 feet of wire, how many spools will he need? All we're going to be doing is solving these problems. In fact, I want you to cross-check that your answer is reasonable. We're not going to use multiplication. We're just going to solve them and make sure they make sense. So let me read it again. Nick needs 65 yards of wire for a project. If the wire is only sold on spools that hold 6 feet of wire, how many spools will he need? So, hold 6 feet, and he needs 65 yards. So you're going to have to change this yards to feet because that's how you buy that at the store is in feet. You don't buy it in yards. So we're going to have to do a unit conversion here. So we're going to be doing 65 yards equals how many feet? Remember, there's going to be more feet in a yard, so it's going to be to multiply. If you didn't know that, you're going from something large like yards to something smaller like feet. And LS, large to small, means to multiply. This is a multiplication problem. And what's the connecting number between yards and feet? It's 3. So I know from going right to left that I'm multiplying, and the connecting number is 3. So I take 65 and I times it by 3. So instead of saying Nick needs 65 yards of wire, we're going to just scratch it out and write how many feet of wire he needed. Nick needs 195 feet of wire for a project. If the wire is only sold on spools that hold 6 feet of wire, how many spools will he need? So now what we're going to be doing is dividing to find out how many he has to buy. If they each hold this amount, you need to find out how many spools he needs to buy. Think about what's going to happen if we have a remainder. So how many will he need to buy if he needs 195 feet? It means you can't have the remainder, like you're going to have to round up. He's going to need to buy another one if there is a remainder. So here I go. I'm going to show 195 divided by 6. Does 6 go into 1? No. It goes into 19, though, 3 times. Does 6 go into 15? Yes. So he needs to buy 32 and 3/6. That's the fraction of a spool. But you can't buy fractions of things at the store. You have to buy the whole package or buy an extra one. So what do you do with this information? 32 and 3/6 or 32 and a half, either way. You have to add 1. He's got to buy an extra spool so that he doesn't have a leftover. He needs to have at least 195. So he has to buy 33. So Nick will need 33 spools of wire. Okay, pretty cool. I'm actually really happy about that. I think we did a nice job. Let's try number 15. Jay runs 1.5 miles at track practice. Teddy runs the 100-yard dash, and Katie, or Caddy, runs half as far as Jay. How many yards do they run all together? Okay, this is like that Unit 6 stuff I told you about, multi-step. We have to do a lot of things here. I love this kind of stuff. Okay, so we have Jay, Teddy, and Katie. Jay is 1.5 miles. Teddy is 100 yards, 100-yard dash, 100. And Katie runs half as far as Jay. So she runs half of that amount. So we're going to write 1/2 of Jay. Let's see what the question is asking in red. It's asking for how many yards do they run all together. So Teddy right now is the only one that we know in yards. Great, congrats, Teddy. But Jay, I have to change into yards. And I'm not, Katie's is stressing me out, like that's so much. But once we find his out in yards, we'll just take half of that for her. It'll be fine. So let's convert miles into yards. Well, if I go from miles into yards using my journal, go ahead and look at your journal. Miles to yards, what is that connecting number? It's 1760. And I'm going from something that's larger into something that's smaller. So I'm going to need lots of these. So I'm going to be multiplying by 1760. So 1.5 times 1760. I don't want to do that as a fraction. I would like to do it as a decimal. So I'm going to go like this, the longer number on top. 1760 times, go ahead and convert 1.5 into a decimal. What does that look like as a decimal? Like that. There needs to be a 1 in the decimal box because of that place value after the decimal. Okay, 1760 times 1.5. So really it's now just saying 1760 times 15, and I'll do the decimal later. Ooh, there's a 0. I'm just going to bring it down. It's a friend. Okay. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 3, 38. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So that first one, I have 8800. And now I do the 0 for place value, and I move on. If you're timesing 1 Oh, you know what I should have done there? I probably shouldn't cross out that 0 because I'm going to need it right here, I think. So let's just use it as 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. That's 38 still, and that's 8. So we're going to just leave that 0 so that we can do 1 times 0, which is 0. 1 time, and then it's just all of them, 1760. Okay, add those partial products. 26400, but you have a decimal. So it's really just 2640. 2640. Okay. And now I have to take half of that to figure out J's. Okay, so now I'm doing some division. To take half of something means to divide it by 2 to find Katie. So J was 2640. Now I'm doing half of that to get Katie's. Okay, go ahead and do the division. Do it on your own. Oh, this should be mental math because look, it goes into each number perfectly. So 2 goes into 2 once. You don't have to do the subtraction. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 4 twice, and then it's 0. So Katie goes 1320. Okay, so in red, I now have everybody in yards. I have 2640, 100, and 1320. They're all in yards. So what do? I add them together. I always put them in order from greatest to biggest, but you don't have to do that. I mean, greatest to least, but you don't have to do that. Okay, that's their total in yards. Did you get that same total? Put it in a sentence. How many yards do they run all together? All right, that's pretty good information, I think. I think we want to, I think we'll want to try, no more of them actually. I don't really want to try any more of the multi-step problems because I'd rather spend some time helping you on the homework page. So what I do want you to do is to cut out this chart, that customary units of length chart. You don't need to do the drawing that's on the side. Just cut out the box. You don't need your name. I didn't keep the title either. I literally just cut out the box. And then I do want to cut out a few more things. So what I want to cut out is technically the rest of our work, just so that we have a lot of examples of how to get this done. But I don't want any of the extras, so I don't want the bottom portion. I'm just going to kind of bubble cut around my division work. You're going to have to do the best on yours. Cut out any space we didn't use. Okay, let me show you what I got. I have that box, the customary units of length box. And I have the complete problems that went 1 through 12. Here's how it will work. I'm going to put the customary units of length at the bottom of my first page of notes. Customary units of length. And then I'll get that glued in. And then I'm going to turn the page. And we're going to put the other thing in. So at the bottom of my first journal page of 8.2, I'm going to get that taped in. Or glued in, whichever one you want to do. And then I'm going to turn the page and get that second thing glued in. I'm a little worried about the second one. I think the second one, oh, I just created a little air bubble in mine. That's annoying. Try again. Okay, so turn the page and let's get that second thing glued in. Best you can in your journal. Don't cover any of the holes. And we're going to do, actually, I don't want to do any more practice problems in here. I want to help you out with that homework and remembering. Okay, so once it's in your journal, go ahead and pull out homework and remembering. I want to just walk you through a few things. Leave your journal out. It is going to help you with so much of these conversion problems. Okay, get your name and number on that and the date. That will help you a bunch if you do that right now. And then you know how to do 1 through 12, okay? There's a lot of examples of how to do that, plus you can use the conversion chart. I think you'll know how to do 13 through 16 as well, because you're finding the perimeter of each figure, where you're just adding all sides together. That's what that is. So I want to try maybe one problem with you on 1 through 12, and one problem with you on 13 through 16. And then on remembering, you can do this. Okay, we've got order of operations. Ooh, PEMDAS. That'll be good for you to remember. Don't forget, add and subtract are connected, and multiply and divide are connected. So you have to go in order there. On 11 through 16, you're going to be using the staircase. This is the King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk, remember? And the unit in this case is meters. It's the M, third length. So remember, when you go down the staircase, like from kilo, like you're going from something large to something small, you're going to be multiplying. If you're going down the staircase, if you're going up the staircase, you're going to be dividing, because you're going from something small to large. Just like what we're talking about today too. And how many times do you move it? It's however many steps you've taken on the staircase. So that's how you're going to do 11 through 16. Use your journal notes from 8.1 if you're struggling with this part. Okay, I want to help you with number 11. Okay, number 11 says, I'm going from yards to feet. So something that is larger to something that is smaller, it means I multiply. And I multiply by whatever the connecting number is between yards and feet, which is 3. So I take 1 1/4 and I times it by 3. Well, you can't times things with fractions like that. You have to multiply then add. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 4. And then I times by 3. But to do that, I got to put a 1 underneath it. And I extend the bar. Well, they don't have any relationships. So 5 times 3 is 15, which is on top. And 4 times 1 is 4 on the bottom. So you simplify that to be 4 and 3/4. That's the final answer, so I would circle it on the line as well. Okay, so now 13, 14, 15, or 16. Which one do I want to help you with? I think you could totally do that. Oh, I'm going to help you with 14. Okay, 14, will you make this red line on the bottom of the rectangle? Look, 1 yard is just the part of the triangle right there. It's not this line. So on number 14, you have to find that red line. On number 15, you have to find this red line. Like, you have to go do some investigating. It's pretty cool. So, and then on number 13, you have to know that this is 36 inches. You have to know that the opposite sides of rectangles are the same. Opposites are equal in rectangles. You also need to know that we're looking for everything in feet. So you can only keep the things that are in feet every single time. The rest of them, you have to convert. So number 14 is a good one to practice because we have a missing number and we have to do a lot of conversions. Okay, so we're changing 3 yards into feet, 1 yard into feet, 48 inches into feet. And then we have this mystery number that we have to figure out. So let's figure out the mystery at the end. Let's do this one. We know that there are, in yards and foot, we know that there are 3 feet in every yard. So if I go from something large to something small, I'm multiplying. And the number I'm multiplying it by, or the connecting number, is 3. So this one is 9 feet. So I now have a measurement for that one. How many feet is 1 yard? 3. You should just know that. So I've got the other one. 48 inches. So I'm going from inches to feet. There's 12 inches in every foot. So I'm going to be going from something small to something large. It means I'm dividing by 12 to get 4. Okay, where is the missing number? Where's a line that looks just like this red line? Oh, it's like a rectangle. So it's straight up above it. Should I say it is 3 yards, or should I say it is 9 feet? I hope you said 9 feet, because you're looking for feet. So why would you put yards? You'd have to do more work. Okay, I've got them all. So now I add all those blue circles. 9 plus 4 plus 9. I'm going to add the 9s first. So that's 18 plus 4 is 22. Plus 3, 25. Plus 5, 30. Awesome. Do you know what the missing line is on number 15? Remember, you got to get these yards to all be feet. You got to get these inches to be feet. But what's this missing line? It's not 12 because it's not as long as that. Let's solve this one. 1 yard is 3 feet. We already know that. Done. How many inches are in a foot? 36. So 36 inches is 1 foot. So if this long line is 12 and this little short line over here is 1, then what's this missing? How many is this red one? So that whole thing's 12, which means if you imagined a line, the whole thing would be 12, and that part's only 1. So it means that this red one has to be 11 feet. Pretty cool to do that investigating. Add them up. 1 plus 9 plus 12 plus 3 plus 11. I'm going to go, that's 15 plus 11. I'm actually just going to add them like this. 12, 11, 9, 12, 11, 9, 3, 1. There it is. Pretty cool. All right, good luck with the rest of this. You got this. Use your notes, use your journal, use your head. See ya.